it's Adriana, and this is my review of The Sessions. Alright, I finally got to see The Sessions, which I really wanted to see at TIFF, but it just didn't really work out that way. It's funny, I had tweeted the director of TIFF, the artistic director. He was like recommending films based on your favorite films, and I told him my favorite film, one of them was Before Sunset, and he said, you should watch The Sessions. So that totally makes sense now, because I watched The Sessions, and it was really good. And I mean, okay, I don't want to be like comparing Before Sunset to that because they are very different films, but I can see why he recommended it based on that, just because it's as real, it's as honest, it's such a refreshing film because it deals with the topic of sexuality and disability in such an open way that you don't really see ever this topic talked about. The film is about a man named Mark O'Brien, and he has polio. He got it when he was like 6 years old. And it's a true story. This is a real person who went through this, basically. So yeah, he has polio, and now he's 38 years old, and he has never been with a woman or anything like that. He's been like basically kind of physically incapable, and no one has ever been attracted to him because of his situation. And it's really, a heartbreaking thing to think about, because I guess people don't really consider that for someone in that position, romance and love and stuff like that, it's often, very pushed to the side. So Mark O'Brien decides he wants to lose his virginity, and then he goes about it in such a way that this is a real thing, a sex surrogate, and basically on the surface it really looks like a prostitute, but it's someone who works with somebody who's in situations such as Mark O'Brien, and has in the movie she's able to have up to 6 sessions with him, and eventually he would sleep with her. So this person is played by Helen Hunt, who was nominated for an Oscar for her role. She was great in the movie, but John Hawkes was so good in this movie. I cannot believe that he didn't get nominated for the Oscar. It was a really strong year for male performances, but the performance by John Hawkes, he played a man with polio, and he was so convincing. I would have thought this was a real person. He was so good. His character, he's such a sweet, funny person. He's so, I don't know, you just really, really fall in love with his character. He's so great. It makes me upset that John Hawkes, I think that's probably the worst snub of the Oscars this year. But the movie, as I said, yeah, it's so fresh, it's so original, you just never see stuff like this, and it's based on the actual person. Mark O'Brien wrote an article about his experience doing this, and the movie is based on that. So it's completely authentic, and it's really funny, it's really sweet, it made me cry. It's so good. It's a really cute little film. For the seriousness of the topic that it deals with, it does it in such a lighthearted way that you can really relate and connect with these characters. I mean, you don't have to be someone with a disability or anything to really feel the pain that Mark O'Brien feels. And there's also a great performance by William H. Macy. He plays the priest. Coolest priest ever. Mark O'Brien and the priest, he kind of talks to the priest about it because he's afraid that what he's doing is a sin and stuff, and the priest is so cool about it and go ahead, do what you gotta do. You have to watch the movie to see the kind of stuff that goes on, but it's a super revealing film. I mean, lots of nudity and stuff, but it just feels so real watching it. It's done really well. So I mean, it might be something that usually it could make the audience uncomfortable watching this kind of topic and this kind of, stuff being dealt with. But the way they do it, it's just so authentic and natural, and so just they kind of take that weight off your shoulders as the audience, because they do it in such a way that it's just acceptable to be able to watch it. It's just really, it's easy to watch, which you think it might not be. But anyways, The Sessions, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I really, really like this movie. It was so underseen, so undervalued. It should have done better with the Oscar nominations as well. I think it did really well at Sundance, and at TIFF too, it got a lot of hype, and now it's kind of like really under the radar again. But if you get a chance, check it out. I promise you, it's a really cool film to watch, and it's something that will really open your mind a bit and really make you think about yourself and the people in this world, and, you know, how we're all different and stuff like that. I don't want to get too, you know, preachy, but yeah, The Sessions. Thank you for watching my review. If you've seen it, if you want to talk about the film, I'd love to talk about it. Just comment below. Thank you.